Mary is 68. She used to love baking her famous apple pie every Sunday afternoon, the kind her mom taught her when she was just a girl. The kitchen would fill with the sweet scent of cinnamon and warm apples, and there'll always be a pot of tea brewing on the stove. That pie wasn't just dessert. It was a piece of her memories, her joy, her way of saying I'm here to the people she loved. Then came the diagnosis: type 2 diabetes. Mary said to me one day, her voice quiet, "I thought my fun was over. I thought it meant no more sweet things, no more celebrations, just boiled vegetables and rules." But here's the truth. 2 years later, Mary is still smiling. Still baking, now a healthier version of her pie with whole wheat crust and less sugar. Still walking her little dog Lucky every morning. Still hosting tea for her neighbors, except now there's more salad than cookies and more laughter than worry. She once told me something I'll never forget. Diabetes didn't take my life away. It just asked me to be more mindful of how I live it. That stuck with me. Because what Mary found, and what I hope you'll find too, is that living with diabetes doesn't have to feel like an end. It can be the beginning of a wiser, more loving way to care for yourself. So today, I want to share 5 simple things, little habits, really, that can gently guide your days toward more energy, more peace of mind, and yes, more joy. Because joy doesn't have to disappear with a diagnosis. Sometimes it just needs to wear a new outfit, one that fits the life you're learning to love again. 1. Drink water before your coffee. Let's slow down for a moment. Picture this: it's early morning. The house is quiet. You're still in your robe, and the light through the window is soft, not quite gold, not quite grey. The coffee machine gurgles in the background, that familiar sound that means it's time to start the day. Now here's something simple, something small but powerful. Before you reach for that warm mug, drink a glass of water. Just water. Nothing fancy. You might wonder, why bother? Well, let me tell you a little story. A few months ago, I spoke with Jim, 72 years old, retired mailman, lives just outside of Naples, Florida. Jim told me he used to wake up groggy and stiff, grabbing his coffee like it was a lifeline. He never really thought about water in the morning. That was for later, maybe after breakfast. Then his doctor gently suggested something. Start your day with a glass of water. Before anything else. Just try it for a week. Jim chuckled, but he gave it a shot. 1 week turned into 2. Now it's been 6 months. And Jim swears by it. He told me, "I still love my coffee, don't get me wrong. But drinking water first clears the fog. I don't feel as jittery. And somehow, it feels like I'm telling my body, hey buddy, I've got your back today." You see, overnight, our bodies lose water through breathing, through sweat, even if we don't feel it. Especially as we get older, staying hydrated becomes more important, not just for our energy, but for our digestion, our joints, even our memory. And if you're living with type 2 diabetes, that morning hydration becomes even more meaningful. Why? Because our blood sugar levels tend to rise in the early morning, something called the dawn phenomenon. Drinking water helps your body start flushing out any excess sugar, supporting kidney function and easing the load on your system, all before you've had your first bite. No, water isn't a magic cure, but it is a kind of quiet kindness you give yourself. A small act of care that sets the tone for the whole day. Here's how you can start. Keep a glass or bottle of water by your bedside. So when you wake up, it's right there. No excuses. No forgetting. Drink it slowly like a little morning meditation. Let it wake you up from the inside. Let it say, "This is a new day. Let's do this right." Then go ahead, enjoy your coffee. Because coffee, when it comes after water, feels less like a crutch and more like a treat. And don't worry, you're not giving anything up. You're just adding something good in, right at the beginning. That's the beauty of it. 2. Add the colors of the garden to your lunch. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Healthy eating doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be beige. It doesn't mean saying goodbye to flavor or joy. In fact, one of the best things you can do for your blood sugar and your happiness is to add more color to your plate. Now, I'm not talking about food dye or neon jello from 1965, though let's admit, it was fun to look at. I'm talking about natural color, the kind that grows from the earth and carries with it vitamins, fiber, and healing power that our bodies quietly crave. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a plate with bright red cherry tomatoes, fresh green spinach, deep orange roasted carrots, purple cabbage slaw, and maybe a sprinkle of golden turmeric on some grilled chicken. Not only is it beautiful, it's also a plate full of blood sugar-friendly choices. I remember my friend Susan. She's 66, a retired school librarian who lives in Oregon. She told me that after being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, she felt like meals became a math problem. Counting carbs, checking labels, worrying about every bite. It stressed her out. She said, "I was so focused on what I couldn't eat, I forgot how beautiful food could be." So together, we made one simple rule: every meal needs at least 3 colors from natural foods. That's it. Not perfection, not calorie counting, just color. And something amazing happened. Susan started enjoying her meals again. She got excited to try purple sweet potatoes, or to toss in berries with her salad. She even started a little herb garden, just to add pops of green to her dishes. She said, "When my plate looks happy, I feel happy. And you know what? My numbers started improving too." It's not magic. It's just nature doing what it does best, helping us heal, gently and quietly. So, how can you add more color to your plate? Think rainbow, not rules. Red bell peppers, blueberries, leafy greens, orange squash, the more variety, the better. Start with one colorful side dish. A salad doesn't have to be boring lettuce. Try mixing spinach with strawberries, walnuts, and a drizzle of olive oil. Eat with your eyes first. If your plate looks like a garden, your brain says yes, this is good, long before your fork touches it. Don't forget fresh herbs and spices. Basil, mint, parsley not only add color, but help bring out flavor without needing extra salt or sugar. Adding color isn't about being perfect. It's about adding life back into your meals, a little celebration on your plate, 3 times a day. Because when you start seeing food not as something to fear, but something to enjoy, that's when healing becomes a way of life. 3. Take a 15-minute walk after dinner. So yes, when your plate is full of color, full of life, your body starts to feel that lightness too. But food is only one piece of the story. Because what we do after we eat matters just as much as what's on the plate. Dinner's done. The dishes are in the sink. The sky outside is starting to turn that soft evening blue. Maybe the streetlights are just starting to flicker on. And here's the moment. Not to flop on the couch just yet. Not to scroll or sit still. But to step outside. Even if it's just around the block. Even if it's just you and your thoughts, or you and your dog, or you and your favorite song in your headphones. Take a 15-minute walk. Just 15. That's all it takes to turn your evening into something powerful, especially if you're managing type 2 diabetes. Let me tell you why. After we eat, our blood sugar naturally rises. It's normal. But for those of us living with diabetes, those spikes can feel like little roller coasters, and over time, they wear us down. That's where walking comes in. It's like giving your body a helping hand, saying, "Hey, I'm here with you. Let's handle this together." I remember a gentleman named Richard, 74 years old, lives in Michigan, widowed, quiet man who loves crossword puzzles and jazz. He told me once, "Evenings used to be the loneliest time for me. After dinner, the silence would creep in. I'd sit in front of the TV for hours. But when I started walking, just 15 minutes, something shifted." He said he felt lighter, clearer. His numbers got better. But more than that, he started sleeping better. He felt less anxious. He started looking forward to his walks. Now he calls them his daily goodnight to the world. And I just love that. Because walking after dinner isn't about burning calories. It's not about weight loss. It's about movement with meaning. It's about giving your body a gentle rhythm, a little signal that says, the day is winding down and I'm taking care of myself. Here's how to start. Don't wait for motivation, plan for it. Put your shoes by the door. Tell yourself, right after I eat, I walk. That's just what I do now. Make it enjoyable. Bring your dog. Call your sister. Listen to music, a podcast, or just the sound of birds settling in for the night. Keep it simple. Just down the street and back. Or around the yard. No pressure. No fitness goals. Just movement and fresh air. Because 15 minutes isn't just a walk. It's a small act of love. For your body, your heart, and your future self. 4. Think of checking your blood sugar like checking in with a friend. And as you return from your walk, the evening feels calmer somehow. Your body is more at ease. Your mind is less cluttered. You've moved, you've breathed, you've honored your health in a simple, gentle way. And now, there's one more small moment of care to end the day right. I know, checking your blood sugar might not feel like the most joyful part of your routine. For many people, it brings up feelings of anxiety, guilt, even shame. That tiny device. Sometimes it feels like a judge. But what if I told you it's not? What if we saw it differently? Let me tell you about Darlene, 70 years old, grandmother of 5, lives in a small town in Texas. She used to avoid checking her blood sugar. Not because she forgot, but because she was afraid of what she'd see. She told me, I felt like if the number was bad, it meant I was bad. Like I had failed. But then one day, her granddaughter, just 8 years old, asked her, Grandma, what's that machine for? Darlene sighed and said, It tells me how I'm doing. Her granddaughter replied, That's cool. It's like a little check-in. Like how teachers ask us how we feel in the morning. That changed everything. Because that's exactly what it is, a check-in. Not a judgment. Not a test you pass or fail. It's a way to listen. To understand your body. To respond with kindness, not fear. Now Darlene keeps her meter in a little fabric pouch with flowers on it. She checks her sugar while sipping tea by the window. Sometimes she even lights a candle. She told me, It's not a punishment anymore. It's a way I say, Hey, I see you. I care about you. So if you've been dreading that moment, what if you reframed it? Think of it as a compass, not a scoreboard. It shows you where you are, so you can make gentle adjustments, not beat yourself up. Make it part of your care ritual. Keep your supplies in a cozy spot. Take a deep breath before and after. Say something kind to yourself, even if the number isn't what you hoped. Write it down like a note to your future self. Not to track mistakes, but to see patterns, to learn what helps you feel good. Because checking your blood sugar isn't about control, it's about connection. To your body, to your rhythm, to your power to choose, every day, to show up with love. 5. Send a message of kindness every day. So, you've nourished your body. You've moved your feet. You've listened inward, gently. There's just one more act of care left in the day, but this one's not just for you. It's for the heart. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you told someone, I'm thinking about you, for no reason at all? Not for a birthday. Not because something happened. Just because they crossed your mind, and your heart said, reach out. You see, when we talk about managing diabetes, or aging well, or living fully, we often focus on numbers. Blood sugar, weight, steps, pills. But behind all of those numbers is a human heart that simply wants to feel connected. Loneliness is more common than we talk about, especially in our later years. The kids are grown. Some friends move away. The pace of life shifts. And if you're living alone, like many older adults do, some days can feel awfully quiet. But here's the beautiful truth. We all have the power to brighten someone else's day, and it doesn't take much. I think of Walter, 76, a widower living in Ohio. Every morning after checking his blood sugar, he sends one short message, just one, to someone he cares about. Sometimes it's a text to his grandson. Hope you do great on your math test today. Other times it's to an old friend. Thinking of that fishing trip we took in '83 made me smile. Or even just a simple, good morning, you matter to me, he said to me. At first, I thought I was doing it for them. But really, it helped me. I started feeling less invisible, more alive, more human. Because connection is a kind of medicine, too. It lowers stress, boosts our immune system, helps us sleep better, even improves how we manage blood sugar. No joke. So here's my invitation to you. Send one kind message today. It doesn't have to be long. It just has to be real. Reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. You never know. Your message might arrive exactly when they needed it. And if you don't know who to message, start with yourself. Write a note that says, "I'm proud of you for showing up today." Stick it on your fridge. That counts too. Because the best kind of health is the one that's wrapped in love, love we give, and love we allow ourselves to receive. 6. Final thought. You don't have to do it all at once. Pick one of these habits to start with, then another next week. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And every small act of care you give yourself is a quiet way of saying, "I still believe in my own well-being." You're not alone. You're learning. And you're doing better than you think. You don't have to do it all at once. Let that sink in for a moment. In a world that often tells us to do more, fix this, change that, it's okay to take a breath. It's okay to start small. Pick one of these habits, just one. Maybe it's the glass of water in the morning. Maybe it's texting someone you love. Let that one new rhythm settle into your life like a soft melody. Then next week, try another. There's no rush, no race, no finish line to chase. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And progress, my friend, is made of ordinary moments filled with quiet courage. Because every time you choose to care for yourself, even in the smallest way, you're whispering something powerful to your own heart. I still believe in my well-being. I still matter. And you do matter. More than you know. Maybe no one else sees the little choices you're making. The swap you made at lunch. The walk you took when it was cold. The number you checked even when you were scared of what it might say. But I see it. And I want you to know, you're not alone. You're learning. You're showing up. And you're doing better than you think. So be proud, not when you get it perfect, but every time you decide to keep going. That, right there, is strength. That is healing. That is hope, alive and well inside you. We don't always get to choose the cards we're dealt. No one wakes up hoping for a diagnosis. No one asks for diabetes, or for the daily weight of managing numbers, meals, and moods. But here's what we do get to choose. How we live with it. How we show up for ourselves, and for the ones we love, even on the hard days. If you, or maybe your mom, your dad, your spouse, are living with type 2 diabetes, please hear this. You don't have to carry it in silence. You don't have to be perfect. And you most definitely don't have to go it alone. Start small. Start like Mary did, with one glass of water in the morning, one walk, one colorful meal, one moment of kindness sent into the world. Start with a single loving message. Thinking of you today. Because living well doesn't begin with willpower. It begins with warmth, with gentleness, with choosing every day to care just a little more than the day before. So today, drink that first glass of water, send that message, smile at yourself in the mirror and say, "I'm still here, and I still believe in myself." Because no matter your age, your number, or your story, you are worthy of feeling good. And healing, my friend, starts right where you are.